With October nearing its end, it is getting pretty bleak around where I live. It gets dark very early, and so I don't get to spend that much time outside anymore. So I tend to look for projects that I can do just to keep myself busy. Thankfully, I ended up with kind of a random project that is most probably the weirdest thing that I have been doing with puzzle pieces up until now. And I thought, hey, let's turn that into a YouTube video. Before I get you into the whole madness of the thing that I am going to be making, I'm going to tell you the background story, because there is a background story. I didn't just come up with this myself. We are signed up for a 24-hour puzzle marathon in Hannut, Belgium, that we are going to be going to this Saturday. So we're going to be spending the weekend there. As it turns out, there's like a special prize for the most creative costume of the entire competition. And so we started brainstorming of what we could be doing for this special occasion. Our team name is going to be Queens of Pieces, as far as I can remember. I hope it's correct. But since that's the team name, we thought we would like go all in. And so one of my teammates actually posted this picture into the WhatsApp group that we were chatting on. And I thought to myself, hey, I could do that. And so that's where this whole thing began. My obvious concept of the entire project was just to go haywire with a glue gun, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So let me just set up. Okay, I'm going to be using a piece of just random local newspaper to protect my table. And then apart from that, let's get our ingredients. Now, I obviously couldn't get a long enough extension cable, so I'm going to be having the cable of the hot glue gun going underneath my foot. So first of all, what I did is get a piece of like thicker paper, not even cardboard. I would just say like this is just random crafting paper that you can get in any store really. And I measured out, well, my head circumference for the first time, and I asked for the same measurement from my teammates, and I cut that out. Yes, this is the basic skeleton that we are going to be starting out with. I'm going to have to get my tea. What tea did I get, you may be asking? It is peach, and it's very delicious, and it's too hot for now for drinking. So what I'm going to be doing is, for now, just plug in the hot glue gun so that it warms up enough. That is under power, and we're just going to have to wait for that to warm up enough. I have obviously already made a test crown, and that turned out pretty okay, so that actually ended up being one of the crowns. With that, what I have found is that it's better to put the hot glue gun on the colorful side of the puzzle, because this side is going to get the paint into it better, at least hopefully. That is my hope, because obviously we're going to want the crown to shine. So I do have some spray paint that I'm going to use to turn the crowns into silver. But for now, this is how we're going to be laying out our puzzle pieces. It doesn't really matter. It's just a trash puzzle that I got from a friend. She didn't want it anymore. It wasn't going to be completed anyway. Even at a swap, people wouldn't want it. As you can see, it's mostly just greenery and plants, and then a huge amount of sky. I don't think I ever completed this puzzle. It has been sitting in one of the boxes for quite a long time. It doesn't even have a box, it was just in a bag. So I thought it would have a better life if it serves a purpose of a puzzle marathon. And I think the puzzle is going to be happier being showed off in this way. The hot glue gun is still just warming up, so this is going to be some waiting time. Because I don't have anything better to do, I'm kind of sorting out like the tinier pieces, because those are going to be pretty good to like fill in holes once I am just attaching the pieces to the skeleton. These are going to be good fillers, and then everything else is just going to be random puzzle pieces going on to the thing once the hot glue gun is actually warm. But we're still not there yet. I am also selecting the edge pieces onto the side here, they're kind of hidden behind the mug, because I don't really want them to be on the crown or only for like specific situations. So as I am reaching for a next piece to glue onto the thing, I don't really want to get edge pieces in general and then if I do want one, I can just reach for that pile. There is a system to how I am sorting things around here now. And we're going to try yet again. There you go! Yay! There is a bit of super glue or hot glue or whatever it's called. So the hot glue madness can start. And there you go. Got the first puzzle piece now, just a couple of hundred to go, and we're going to be happily settled with a crown. From here on, it's pretty much just sticking on piece by piece. The hot glue is still not super hot, so it's not flowing that easily. But yeah, from here on, we just get like a dollop of hot glue onto the puzzle pieces and just sticking them on there. Now, I'm not really paying attention to how much it is. It sticks pretty well. I think it also melts this tape a little bit here, so it kind of holds it in place better. Also, it's not going to be visible once the hot glue is up there, and if it like pokes out a little or it just flows out a little bit from between the pieces. So I'm not adding a lot at all. And we're just going to be sticking on puzzle pieces. Right, now that I have actually set up like a side camera as well, you're going to be able to see what I'm actually doing, because I realized that I can actually do that. So pretty much, yeah, that's where we are at. And we're just going to be sticking on things. Now it is getting proper hot because we've got super glue dripping on the side. Now, I also have to say that this is pretty much like the cheapest glue gun that you can get, and it's actually the cheapest kind of hot glue as well. So it varies in liquidity, I would say, but it works and it keeps things on well, so I'm not complaining. Also, this is really just a prop, so it's not going to have to be like the most super durable thing. It's going to be used most likely once, unless it's like a real hit success. For now, this is just like one fun project that I can just kill time with. Now, what we also want to do here is what I kind of came up with, is that some of the puzzle pieces, especially on one side, they're going to be sticking up a little to give that like crown-like impression with the little spikes coming out on the top. So that can look pretty cool. And we're going to be doing 2 layers of this. So there's going to be a lot of puzzle pieces that goes into this. So from here on, we're just going to be gluing things on. I thought it would be pretty cool to just chat a little bit about puzzle marathons in general, because I think they are amazing. And also, I kind of want to give a shout out to the puzzle community in a sense, but you will see why very, very soon. So the first thing is that we have signed up for this marathon in kind of like a whirlwind. We decided we want to go pretty much after our first marathon with Michelle from the Euro Jigsaw Jam and speedpuzzle.eu, who you might know from their YouTube channel and the live streamings that they do of their online competitions. So with her, we kind of decided we just need to go to another marathon once we have attended the one in Belgium as well. And so we tried signing up for this marathon, which is extremely popular. And the way that signing up went is that I think the registrations opened at like 11 in the morning on a Saturday. So we knew that it's going to fill up very, very quickly, but I wasn't prepared to like how quickly, because I was sitting there. I was actually signing up from my phone because I was somewhere. And we set up like, I think 2 people at the same time who are going to try and sign up, because it sells out in like minutes is what we have heard. So we wanted to make sure that we get a spot. So the 2 of us were sitting on our phones, communicating on WhatsApp in preparation. I was getting extremely nervous. And then registrations open. I fill out the form and everything. I do it in, I think, 20 something seconds. No, maybe it took me a minute or something like that to fill out like the information and put in, I think, just 1 participant. So just 1 contact detail and team name and stuff like that. And then I send it off, and it turns out that we were already on place 200 something after about a minute of signing up. And we only made it to the waiting list. So that was not very nice. And we pretty much were like, okay, we're going to be missing out on this. And then a German team that did make it into the registration because they managed to sign up in, I think, 10 something seconds because of like the autofill of Google. They did get a spot, and they had 4 people, and you could have 8 for 24 hours, which I think is pretty reasonable. And they asked us 4 if we want to join their team. So that is how we kind of secured a spot. What is unbelievable, though, is that the first place who got in based on speed was done with signing up in 7 seconds. And so the competition was sold out so quickly. And that's how we secured our spot, that we joined forces with another German team. And now we're going to be, attending together and wear crowns for the entire thing. But there is a reason that marathons are so incredibly popular, I think, and it is somehow in connection with the puzzling community as well, but also just the fact of like how marathons are really, really cool. And also Belgium, and I think France as well, has quite a big history of puzzle marathons in general. They are very, very popular. And apparently in Belgium, if you really want to, you could go to a puzzle marathon every single weekend. So it's extremely popular. There's a lot of people going there, not just speed puzzlers. It's kind of like a community event. And it's just so very attractive, and I love it. And so here, for example, it is like a small piece that is going to have to like fit in for that little spot there. So I find it extremely appealing, especially that the atmosphere at these events is just so very good. I think I have already mentioned one of my favorite teams at the one puzzle marathon that I have actively participated in. And that was a team of elderly ladies. So they were easily in their 80s. I don't want to like exaggerate, but they were not in their 60s, that's for sure. And they just turned up at a 10-hour puzzle marathon. They got their puzzles and they started puzzling the one puzzle. I think they completed 1.5 puzzle in the 10 hours. But during the day, they walked around, they ate their croissants, they were socializing, they had a good time. And they got a huge applause once their one puzzle was done. So they were also hugely popular participants. And I just find that so very appealing, that it's not about the performance, it's not about being extremely fast and getting through all the puzzles that you have to. And in some way, I think that reflects the approach of the puzzle community very, very well. In that, like, it doesn't matter how fast you are. Obviously, the fast people are going to be pointed out and they're going to be, celebrated because it is an achievement to be extremely fast. But also, everyone else who is not that insanely fast is also welcome at any puzzling table, and people are just happy to puzzle together. And it turns into such a nice community experience. And in some way, I think that also makes the puzzle community so very beautiful because people are just relaxed. And it's also still, not that result-driven, I would say. It's just nice and everybody is extremely friendly, as it has been experienced at the Worlds as well for so many people, that it's not necessarily the competition aspect. Because people go there to hang out and they want to see their friends, they just want to puzzle together, and it's just so very appealing. And then the other thing is that it is also a very accepting community in so very many ways, because yes, there is the performance aspect of the speed puzzling, but there is also the friendly, relaxed atmosphere. And it's also a very, very safe space. So it is possible for people to come up with a random idea to wear a puzzle crown during puzzling and to decorate their team spaces, which is also going to be a possibility for us to do at the competition as well. I think we can even turn up a bit early at the event just to like decorate and to put up our whatever things we want to place in our team zone. And it's a safe space. And so much so that people can dress up as full-size unicorns if they want to. Nobody is going to like say anything about it, and it's actually going to be celebrated, which I think is extremely good. And I really, really hope that the speed puzzling community is going to stay like that. Now, I do think that if it gets super professional, this relaxed atmosphere might go away at some point, just because like the more super serious people turn up, the more it's going to go that way. But yeah, that's something that only time will tell. As I was saying, I was practicing another like super niche sport as well for a very long time. But there as well, in the beginning, when it was really just starting out, people were super relaxed, and it was a much friendlier atmosphere than it is now, for example, where it's turning super competitive and people take it very, very seriously, and they prepare way more than they used to for competitions before. And so, yeah, I just really hope that that doesn't happen to the speed puzzling community. Now we have got to about a quarter of the crown, and it's looking pretty good so far. Yeah, you don't want to see the cardboard too much, but it's also not a problem that you can at the moment. As I was saying, there's going to be a second layer on the puzzle crown, so the cardboard is not going to be that visible at the point when it is done. But for now, we're just sticking puzzle pieces onto... It is pretty hot. It is burning my fingers sometimes a little bit, but I'm obviously sometimes super clumsy when it comes to stuff like this. And it also dries pretty quickly, so these are already set, they're not going anywhere. Now there's nothing really rocket science-y to this. I think, yeah, the idea of sticking puzzle pieces onto something and using it as a costume is not a revolutionary new idea, but I haven't seen any puzzle crowns of this sort being made before. So we're going to have to see how this goes. And then what's also pretty interesting that I don't think I have really thought about it. This is going to be my very first 24-hour marathon that we are going to now. What I didn't realize is how much planning goes into it, because yeah, with the 10 hours, like we did come up with a schedule and stuff, but to be honest, because I'm very, very bad with like numbers in general, but also like maths and planning in general, I would say, it was not me putting it together. And I think at the 10-hour marathon that we have been to, there was one girl who was already saying that she has been to marathons before, a lot of them, and she could make the schedule because she has had experience. So that was quite nice, and I was just served the schedule, and I was pretty happy about it. And then this time, it was 24 hours that had to be planned out, and thankfully, it was not me that did it. It's better for everyone that I didn't do it. But yeah, it's yeah, a pretty complicated schedule that I'm going to have to like think about the entire time that I'm there. You actually have to plan sleep, because the 24 hours cannot go by without like a little bit of rest. And also I'm going to be driving there, so I also need a little rest before I drive home, so that I stay safe. And all that planning that goes into the schedule, it was done very, very, very nicely by Caro on our team. And we're just going to have to follow that schedule the entire time. There's also like a side event going on at the competition, and we even have like a schedule for that as well, for us to like puzzle on the side, because I think there's an individual competition that is going to be there, and there's just things to do at the 24-hour marathon. It is going to be like a big festival of puzzles again. And yeah, I'm already preparing for like a very different atmosphere. And I'm already preparing to like a very different atmosphere compared to Worlds. And I just really, really want to have a good time. Obviously, I'm going to be taking all of you with me. So there's going to be a vlog of that day, the 24 hours plus the couple of hours before and after. And yeah, I'm hoping to show you as much as possible. This time it's going to be probably less professional footage as well, because I'm going alone. So my husband is not coming with me and he's not going to be taking videos at that time. But I'm going to do my best to record as much as possible. And then, yeah, hopefully the crowns are going to look amazing. And we also have some other plans. I don't know what is going to be happening or what the others are doing. One of my teammates is making shirts for us, which is also going to look pretty cool. So we're going to have some kind of uniform as well. And yeah, it's not easy to plan it out. It's way more planning than I was expecting. I also have to point out that this is my first 24-hour marathon, so I just barely know what to expect of the event. I have been to one 10-hour marathon before where I participated, and then we organized one with Michelle in Trier in August. There is a video about that on my channel already. So I have not participated in 24 hours before, and that's going to be, yeah, a new experience, but I'm kind of certain that I'm going to be enjoying that very much. So much so that I'm already signed up for one in 2026 as well. Our team was just finalized the other day for that 24-hour marathon, which is going to be in France, and I'm looking forward to that very much as well. But I'm pretty confident to say that I think I'm way more of a fan of marathons than like regular speed puzzle competitions, for the mere fact that when you sign up for a marathon, you're going to be puzzling way more. It's just a longer experience compared to a speed puzzle competition, where in like best case scenario, you puzzle for like one... Ow! I have managed to burn myself. For like in the best case scenario at like a regular speed puzzle event, you're going to be puzzling for like, yeah, 1.5 hours. Well, hopefully not that long, but you're going to be puzzling for one round of individual, then maybe for a final round. So that's 2 rounds of puzzles, 500 pieces, and then one pair, if there's a final, then another pair round, and then maybe one team round with maybe 2 puzzles. So it's not that many, but if you sign up for a marathon, you have a guarantee that you're going to be puzzling for multiple hours for the time that you invest in traveling, which is already very appealing because, yeah, everyone has to travel sometimes from further away for these events, and it just makes it more appealing. It's more puzzling. There's also more bonding time. Silly as it may sound, but yeah, so because you're like locked in together with so many people, like 4 people can puzzle all at the same time at most of the marathons. And so because you're kind of like forced to be together for that time, it actually creates quite a strong bond between people. And yeah, you can't really avoid like chatting at least a little bit, depending also on like how serious you're taking the marathon, because yeah, you might decide that you're very, very competitive and then you just really like lock in on what you're doing and you're just trying your best to puzzle as fast as possible. But you might also just fluctuate in how quickly you are working, and then you get a little bit of chance to actually chat with the others, which is also quite nice. And it's just more social. And then the other thing is that during the breaks, people can also like circulate and just enjoy the atmosphere, walk over to other tables, maybe even chat there a little. So it's much more relaxed than a competition where people might be preparing for their own rounds and yeah, try and follow their rituals to be able to do their best in their rounds. And it also just goes by so very quickly. I'm not sure if anyone else has had this experience, but it tends to like go extremely quickly. I had this feeling at the competition in Köln recently, where we rocked up and started puzzling, and then I blinked twice and the competition was already over and we were going home. And yeah, with a marathon, that is not the case. You're going to be there for an extremely long time, and that's just going to be what it is. Well, the crown is maybe halfway covered with puzzle pieces at this point, which is looking like this. And it is working. And we're just going to be sticking some more puzzle pieces on. All right, so on this part, I actually left like a little gap that I didn't realize that I was about to do. Yeah, I'm going to fill that in with a little piece because that's what I collected them for. So something like that, so that it fits up on top. Now the easier thing is if I actually stick the glue gun onto like the part that is the most, that has like the largest surface, but I actually kind of like it better with like just the small part hanging on. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. And then hopefully it's going to stay on. Yeah, so my phone is running out of batteries, so I'm going to have to unplug the glue gun for a little bit and charge my phone before I can properly continue. So stay tuned for the next part. One layer is done, which is like, yeah, as you were expecting, most probably, just a circle of cardboard with, puzzle pieces stuck to it. So far, it's not extremely interesting, I would say. Yeah, we're going to have to see. This is also like a smaller size. It's not exactly my head size, but it sits, so it's working so far. Yeah, we're going to do another layer and see how it covers up and how much I can create some more spikes that are sticking out of the crown. And we're going to, yeah, just keep going. So this is the finished crown at this point. It still needs to be spray painted, which I'm going to edit very, very soon. And then, yeah, pretty much what I'm hoping for is that, yeah, it doesn't look super professional, I would say. But what I'm hoping for is that the cheerleader effect is going to help, because I've got this, that's one thing. Then I've got this next to it. Then I've got this next to it, and I've got a fourth one. So I've got 4 at this point. I think they look pretty cool together, so like the cheerleader effect is working. At least now with these 4, we do have 4 crowns for the 4 people that can puzzle at one time, so people can actually exchange crowns as they are switching. Yeah, we're going to have to see. So I'm going to attempt to spray paint these very soon, I think tomorrow morning, and then we're going to see the rest. It is the next day and it's time for painting the crowns silver. So they're all set up already. I've got my spray paint ready, and obviously it's raining outside, so I'm going to be setting everything up. Thankfully we have like a kind of little roof in front of our house, so I'm going to be setting everything up and trying not to make too much of a mess of the entire thing. dried and I let it sit for a little bit longer just to make sure that it's all nice and dry, and all that is left is to try it out. It's silver. It's doing its job for what I can tell at the moment. We're obviously going to have to test them in action this weekend. I'm actually leaving already tomorrow, so by the time you're seeing this video, I will be already puzzling at the 24-hour marathon in Hannut, Belgium. I'm very excited to take you with me and show you what the event is going to be like. And all that is left is to go and puzzle. So if you enjoyed this video, then definitely hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to help it grow. And see you in the next video.